Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another review. I haven't done a review for a couple days. This is of a 1991 science fiction film directed by Russell Mulcahy. He's an Australian director. I saw this. This is the last movie I saw in 2024. I wanted to review it. It stars Christopher Lambert, Virginia Madsen, Michael Ironside. I saw him at Comic-Con last year, and the late, great Sean Connery. It's the second installment in the Highlander film series, second to the 1986 film, set in the year 2024. Yeah, the year that was, not as good as it appeared to be. The plot concerns Connor McLeod, who regains his youth and immortal abilities and must free Earth from the Shield. No, not the Shield wrestling, faction in WWE, or Shield, like in Agents of Shield. No, it's a villain team, an artificial ozone layer that has fallen under the control of a corrupt corporation. Highlander 2, The Quickening. Yeah, I know people say this is one of the worst movies ever made. I don't think so, guys. I think this film is decent. It has problems. Yes, it's goofy, it's weird. It can be, some of the plot can be confusing if you've never seen the first movie, but as a dumb, mindless fantasy film, action film, I had some fun with it. I laughed a couple of times. I like the two leads. It's got unintentional comedy in it, and it's not 2.5 hours. It's 100 minutes. That is an hour and 30 something minutes without the end credits, depending on which version you watch. I watched a version that was like an hour and 45 minutes or something like that, because there's like 3 or 4 versions of it. But the version I saw, I didn't hate it. It bombed at the box office. It only made 15 million on a budget of 34, so it wasn't 200 million like a lot of movies last year. And it was shot in Argentina. And it was before and after the country's economic collapse, blah, blah, blah. And I know that they took a lot of liberties here because, again, it was panned by critics. I don't know why. I have seen worse sequels than this. Give me this over Speed 2 any day, or Son of the Mask, or half of the direct-to-video sequels of Steven Seagal, or any of, these direct-to-video Disney sequels that came out. A lot of them are terrible, and a lot of sequels that came out last year, like Twisters. This movie's not 2 hours, at least. Even the extended cut, it's not. It was considered one of the worst films ever made. Oh, no. Hell no. This is not one of the worst films ever made. If you shut your brain off, this is a guilty pleasure at best. That's what I thought when I started watching it. The original theatrical edition was 12 minutes. What came out April 12th, 1991 in the UK, in an 8-minute long cut. And in the US, it was a box office bomb. But in 95, there was an alternate director's cut called the Renegade version. Was released a home video that attempted to address the many story problems, such as removing all the mention of Zeist and the ideas that immortals are aliens. This was followed by a special edition in 2004, which was largely the same, but with some ultra special effects. The sequel, Highlander 3, came out. Yeah, no, but I don't hate this movie. I miss Sean Connery. I think that his sacrifice at the end actually works. It's heartfelt. I love Christopher Lambert in these movies. Michael Ironside doesn't care, but again, guys, he did this for a paycheck. It's fine. We all need one, right? Virginia Madsen, I've seen her in worse films than this. You have John C. McGinley. He's not annoying here. He's kind of over the top. He has his moments. And you have these two cackling villains with goggles going, they laugh like Salacious Crumb. It's ridiculous, but again, this movie knows what it is. And it kind of got a cult following like the first one. It's not as bad as critics say it is. Even Roger Ebert, he gave it a half a star. It's not that bad. I've seen worse, guys. Roger Ebert did not review. He didn't review Twisters because he passed away. His last movie he reviewed was The Host, and that movie was horrible. That was way worse than this. It says, is the most hilariously incomprehensible movie I've seen in many a long a day. A movie almost awesome in its badness. Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. This is not Empire Strikes Back, guys. This is not The Dark Knight. This is not Sonic 2 or 3. This isn't even Infinity War. It's just a dumb popcorn flick that I enjoyed watching. Fun action. It's ridiculous in tone. It's stupid. It knows it's stupid, but I've seen much worse, guys. See the movies on Mystery Science Theater. Those are a lot worse. They're low budget. They're barely comprehensible. They have bad sound. They have bad editing. They have bad acting. It is what it is. It's a campy, fun movie that you can watch at least once on streaming. It's on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's still there, but I saw it there, and it made me laugh. And that is more than I could say for some other movies last year, like If or Tarot or freaking Night Swim. Those movies were just boring. This wasn't boring. It was stimulating enough. And for the effects for at the time, they're not terrible. I've seen CGI that was so horrible. I was like, why was that in the movie? This movie's not a big CGI fest. For a movie that takes place last year in 2024, they did the best they could with what limited budget they had and with their resources. I have seen worse movies than this and worse TV shows than this. And the franchise will get worse after 3. Because 4, you kill McCloud out, which you shouldn't have done, and then have Adrian Paul, who's a terrible actor. He's not in this movie, so I can take this over the 4th movie or the 5th movie, which has him as a lead in a TV movie that's so cheap that it's just, I don't even know why it's called Highlander. This one at least has a budget. Even though it bombed, it's not one of the worst films ever made. Hell no, I've seen worse. Does it hurt the first movie? Not really, because I love the first movie as it's a good movie on its own. This, if you don't call it Highlander 2 and it was just called The Quickening, it would not have gotten the reputation that it did. Just saying. But anyway, that's my quick review of Highlander 2. It has its problems. Like I said, the plot is convoluted in a way, and they retcon a few things from the first movie, but it's not pointless. I still had some fun with it, despite the problems. Thanks for watching. Acknowledge me, and I'll see you guys in the next review.